I'm Domino Scott Jackson. I work for Pasadena Police Department. I've been a police officer with the city of Pasadena for a little over 12 and a half years. My current assignment is the Homeless Outreach Psychiatric Evaluation Team, where I'm partnered up with a clinician from the Department of Mental Health. And our main responsibility, we're a dynamic team because our responsibilities include responding to crisis calls, and we also do homeless outreach. And in that, our goals are to assess for crisis, but also to provide resources. And hopefully, if we don't have to hospitalize a person because they're meeting some type of psychiatric criteria, then what we try to do is link them up with services if they don't already have that. Currently, we have 3 teams, which provide not 24-hour coverage, but very close to it. And with our 3 teams, we have clinicians from the Department of Mental Health. One of our teams has a clinician from the Public Health Department as well. If a department is looking to start up a team, the first thing that they're going to want to look at is that immediate collaboration and networking and discussion with their Department of Mental Health. They're going to want to reach out to those entities to see about getting a clinician to come on board. One of the other suggestions would be, again, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, is really being selective with selecting the officer that is assigned to that team, because you have to make sure that it's a good fit between the officer and the clinician. One of the other big things about starting up a team is really having that support from leadership, having that buy-in from police officers that are in the field that are going to be relying on that team, and to allow the team to do their work. So on a regular basis, I check in with my lieutenant, for example, which is very important, or my sergeant, and let them know this is what we have going on this week. This is who we're trying to help. This is what we're trying to do. And it may take several hours to do what we are trying to do for this person. Because in law enforcement, it's all about call to call to call. Clear that call, get to the next call. With this population that we deal with on a regular basis, it's not like that. We may be with somebody for several hours. We have to have that leadership. The leadership has to support us 100% and understand that why it's taking us a few hours longer than maybe the next officer. So it's so important to have the support from leadership first and foremost, to ensure that we're going to have a successful program, or that newer agencies that are starting up programs and teams are going to have that support. With our department, as with most agencies, there's a log for calls for service throughout, for example, through the year, and that definitely assists us in which way we're going as far as our calls for service and the level of calls that we're receiving, which is rapidly increasing, not just in our agency, but probably in other agencies as well. And one of the big things that we're responsible for in our department, which I believe other agencies should consider doing this when they start their teams, is you have to keep track through like a monthly report of the calls for service that you're responding to. If there's hospitalizations, if there's not hospitalizations, maybe they need some type of therapy, maybe they need to get their medications recalibrated. Whatever that might be, we're there to try to evaluate it, assess, and then get them to the right place. One of the big things is that we're networking. So say we have somebody in Pasadena that we know may make it to Long Beach. So we call our Long Beach partners and we say, heads up, this person is probably going to end up in your city. Or we may call Long Beach and say, this person is from your city. What can we do to get them to the best place or to the best resource? And when we get a call from dispatch, we will look at the call, we'll see what kind of information is in there. If a family member is calling, what we'll do is we'll sometimes call the family member that called us and ask what's going on, what's been going on, what type of medication, things that will prepare us for that call. And it's important to understand too that I have a clinician, a civilian person inside of my vehicle with me. And it's important, and it's always in my mind, knowing that officer safety is important and my partner's safety is important. So in my mind, I'm always thinking about, could this call turn into a dangerous situation? Could this call or this person easily be de-escalated? And we have that discussion amongst us in the car of how we're going to handle it. The HOPE team has been recognized in the community, and that is a lot of that has to do with, again, the leadership promoting us in the community and explaining to the stakeholders in the community that we're an excellent resource if they have a person who's in crisis or if they see a homeless person, to make sure that they reach out to the HOPE team. So as we've grown, the community really relies on our expertise in the field.